Florida taxpayers have once again, unwittingly or perhaps unwillingly, lined the pockets of a huge Republican donor so that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis could score some cheap political points. Last week, 48 Venezuelan asylum seekers were flown out to Martha's Vineyard with the expectation that they were going to get some assistance in applying for a way to stay in the United States. And by the way, that's how they were enticed to get on that plane. There were some, there's a brochure that had some information on there that turned out not to be true. And of course, there's also reports that they were told, it's from the migrants themselves, there was going to be, job training, cash assistance, and things like that waiting for them if they had boarded that plane. Of course, that was a lie. Instead, their unexpected arrival at Martha's Vineyard had caused some chaos in that community as they had to react. And I think they did a great job, by the way, reacting to it, to, make sure that they built a support network to give these people food and shelter and assistance. And then, of course, before they had ultimately went to a temporary facility. All of that happened to have come at a cost of about $12,000 per migrant. It's a really expensive flight. In fact, it totaled about $615,000, of which went right into the pockets of a Florida GOP donor. As the Daily Beast explains, Vertol Systems Incorporated, which was founded in Oregon but has ties to the Florida Panhandle, was the company that was hired for this gig. They had actually reaped more than $12,000 per migrant to transport the group from San Antonio, Texas to Massachusetts with stopovers in Florida and South Carolina. The president of Vertol, James Montgomery, has contributed exclusively to GOP causes, both individually and through his company in Florida. Campaign finance records show that includes donations to the Florida legislature's appropriations chief, his father, and the state's Republican Party. Oh, would you look at that? So now, one of the donations actually included about $2,700, or the maximum limit, to Matt Gaetz back in 2016. Another was $5,000 to a $5,000 donation to a super PAC named North Florida Neighbors in 2017, which was organized to also support Matt Gaetz. Fun. Apparently, this guy loves Matt Gaetz as much as Matt Gaetz loves paying people for sex. Allegedly, of course. Don't know that for sure, but allegedly. We'll be clear, right? Federal records show that the donations were also made to the PAC by Vertol itself, with the company's name on $7,500 worth of donations between 2016 and 2017. Now, these donations, of course, might explain why Florida, again, remember, this was $615,000 for flying out 48 migrants. Turns out they ran some costs on this. Florida paid more than double the most expensive market price for a charter service to move those migrants. That seems rather fishy, doesn't it? A little strange, don't you think? No, it's not strange at all if you knew anything about politics. No, this is an example of a return on investment. You see, this company gave bribes to these politicians, and then these politicians ended up giving them a gigantic return on investment. For just a few $1,000s in donations, I gave you the totals, this company got over $500,000 from just one stunt. And by the way, there's more to come. Ron DeSantis has promised more. Florida has actually allocated about $12 million in funding for their migrant relocation program. A second payment has actually already been dished out to Vertol, according to records published on the website of Florida's chief financial officer, with Florida paying another $950,000 in taxpayer money related to the relocation program of authorized aliens just this week. Now, look, if you're somebody who gets mad because, the immigrants, Oh, they're coming over. They're taking our resources. They're taking our money. Wait, then what do you think about this? No, what's taking your money is the corruption. That's what's going on. Immigrants aren't here to steal your welfare. They don't get welfare under the law, okay? They don't get welfare. They don't get these assistance programs. If you're undocumented, you don't get any of that. And by the way, if you're an undocumented person and you're working in this country, which a lot of them are, they still end up paying taxes. But they never see anything back in benefits because they're not a citizen. And so, and by the way, they're also exploited by corporations who then work them for lower wages because, hey, look, I could pay you $2 an hour, or I could call ICE on them, and to come and get you and deport you back to the country that you came from. And oftentimes when you do have people that have escaped terrible economic conditions, but aren't essentially refugees or asylum seekers, but just wanted to come and get a better life, which, by the way, is not the majority of the people that have been crossing over the border. A lot of them have been. The majority of them have been asylum seekers and refugees from gang violence and from, other problems, other issues, right? They don't get anything back. Wouldn't it be better to, work to make them citizens so that they pay taxes, so that they can legally contribute, get jobs, and not get exploited by employers? Just saying. It'd be smarter, wouldn't it? But of course, smart doesn't matter when really your politics boils down to, I hate brown people. But anyway, the moral of this really is both the taxpayer and immigrants are being robbed by crooked politicians and the people who paid them legal bribes. People like Republican State Representative Jay Trumbull Jr., who happens to be the Appropriations Committee chair. He actually received a $1,000 donation from Vertol this year for his Florida Senate bid, according to state finance records. The representative's father, Jay Trumbull Sr., was appointed by DeSantis to be in the Florida Transportation Commission in 2020, but was not listed as a member of the commission's website on Wednesday. Prior to his appointment, he gave $2,500 to DeSantis's successful 2018 campaign. The Intercept reported that his company, Trumbull Water Services of Northwest Florida, gave another $10,000 to Friends of Ron DeSantis, a state-level PAC that backs the governor and describes itself as being committed to advancing the freedom agenda and keeping Florida free. Other political donations from Vertol in Florida included $500 in 2006 to failed GOP gubernatorial candidate Tom Gallagher, $2,500 to North Florida neighbors, and $10,000 to the Florida Republican Party. Montgomery did not return a request for comment at a number listed in his name. By the way, also interesting, the website for Vertol, which had been online prior to last week's migrant flight, is now offline. So they're offline and have hidden their contact information. Gee, I wonder why. You got something to hide there? Is there something fishy here? What's going on? Why you hiding, buddy? Why you hiding? Look, honestly, if you're really, looking to follow the real corruption in this country in order to shut it down, you don't need to go on anonymous, 8chan forums, waiting for Q drops, okay?
Dumps, big massive dumps.
You don't have to do that. No, all you have to do is just follow the money. That's it. Follow the political donations, and you'll see the corruption laid out before your eyes, because it's everywhere. And at this point, they're barely even bothering to hide it.